Let me say something that might confuse or annoy some of you a bit. Most people don't fail because they're lazy. They fail because they work too hard. And I don't mean in general. I mean specifically at the wrong times. Whatever you tell yourself, you don't actually quit when things get difficult. You quit right before you have that breakthrough. That moment where progress gets uncomfortable, expectations start going up, where you can no longer hide behind that "I'm trying" it excuse anymore. Because you're actually there now. And that's when usually people start to pull the handbrake. And if you're wondering why you keep getting so close and then messing up just before you're about to get there, yeah, this video is probably about you. I want to tell you the mistake that self-improvement advice, the one that everyone puts out there, makes. It always assumes you sabotage yourself because you don't want success. You know, when they say, oh, you just don't want it bad enough. But come on, for most of us, that's rarely true. Of course we want success. Most people sabotage themselves because success changes the rules. And when I say rules, I mean the rules of how you live your life. Now you have more responsibility. You have more pressure. You have more expectation. Not just about yourself, but from others around you too. And your brain doesn't see that as exciting. It sees it as risk. It starts creating friction, delays, excuses. It's not to hurt you. It's so it can delay the inevitable and keep life predictable. Once I realized that and looked at it from a different angle, most of my behavior made sense too. Okay, so without boring you, let me get into the practical steps of how you can take a grip of life. The first way most people ruin their progress is by stacking too much at once. For example, you don't just start training. You try to fix your diet, your sleep, your productivity, your work, everything all in the same week. And don't get me wrong, I've done the same and I feel disciplined, I feel focused, I start feeling serious. You go around telling everyone, all your friends, all your family, oh, you're locked in now. But then a week or two goes by and you're back to square one. I've done the same thing countless times, but there's one single rule I live by now. I only change one thing at a time. Everything else stays average on purpose. It feels slow, I know, but you have to realize 99.9% of us can't fix everything as soon as we wake up tomorrow. We have to focus on one thing at a time. I know it sounds cliche and all, but studies even show that we can't multitask at all. And the same applies for self-improvement as well. Just don't break the system. So if training is your main focus, then food is good enough. If work gets a bit too intense, then the gym becomes maintenance. Progress doesn't come from intensity. It is driven from consistency. The second tip I have for you is subtle, but it changes a lot. Now look, most people reward themselves for results. You know, you step on the scales in the morning and your weight goes down, reward. Pass an exam, reward. But here's the problem. On days where results don't show up, your brain starts to go, what is the point? And let's be honest, more often than not, your days won't have massive wins written all over them. So there's a simple solution. Just change what you reward. See, me personally, I've started to reward showing up, not just outcomes or achieving goals. If I have a bad gym session, it still counts. If I studied but it felt a bit unproductive, guess what? It still counts. If the day wasn't too impressive, you know, if I just fell off my diet a bit or something like that, you guessed it, it still counts. Because invisible progress is where most people quit. And if you don't reward the process, then you're never going to survive the journey towards your end goal anyway. All right, so this third tip even surprised me when I first heard it. And some of you might relate too. I used to treat self-improvement like it was some big test. Serious rules, serious pressure, serious face. And over time, it just got heavy. And I'm okay to admit that. Some of you might not be. But here's the fix that actually worked for me. And you're going to have to listen very closely and try to understand what I mean here. Make progress boring and slightly enjoyable. It doesn't have to be some heroic or dramatic change. So what I mean by make it boring is don't try have a weird personality trait anymore about self-improvement. What the YouTube videos tell you you have to be to get success. Tell everyone that I'm this self-improvement guy. Just try to stick to something that doesn't require too much thinking. Small things every day, it becomes your identity instead of you trying to force it. And the reason why I'm saying this is because the moment your reputation is on the line and self-improvement becomes your whole identity, it means your brain tries to avoid it. It wants to sit in comfort knowing that it doesn't have any expectations, no one else expects anything from you. Consistency thrives when things feel normal, not different. It's a bit like, when you go gym and you show up every day and suddenly you start seeing results from what feels like nothing. But it took you 100, 200, 300 days to see that progress. It doesn't show up in 1 or 2 days. It's simple as that. Right, look, when I stopped trying to be the disciplined guy all the time, things actually started getting a bit easier for me. I didn't quit less because I became tougher. I quit less because I made quitting unnecessary. Yeah, I know that's confusing, but let me say that in plain English for you. I didn't have any big boots to fill anymore. I was just focusing on one thing at a time and rewarding myself where I saw fit, and that's where them cheeky little cheat meals help as well. So I started getting a little bit more realistic with self-improvement instead of being an obsessive weirdo with it. There's no need for a dramatic comeback like those TikTok edits show you. Yeah, I know it's a hard pill to swallow, but it's just continuation. That was the real upgrade that changed everything. All right, so you just came here for the quick little tips and the takeaway. So let me get real. If you feel like you keep getting in your own way all the time, don't go off this video and start searching, oh, how can I be more motivated? I've even made my last video on why motivation will kill you. But instead, let me give you the main questions you should be asking. Is my system too heavy? Am I rewarding the wrong thing? And the third one, am I making things harder than it needs to be? Progress doesn't need more pressure building on top of it. It just needs fewer reasons to stop. So I'm hoping this video talked to you on a more deeper and more personal level. Don't try overhaul your whole life tonight. Just remove or add one small thing. And before you know it, just by making that small little adjustment, let's say you add one good habit and remove one bad habit a week. Imagine just where you'd be in 52 weeks time. Basically a year. If you're serious, just think about it. You know what? I'll even leave that to you to think about where you want to be this time next year in 2027. My final piece of advice, however, is just keep showing up. And don't forget, as much as it may help you to know, I'm on this journey with you. So stay safe, stay hard, stay consistent, all of that. And I'll see you in the next one. Love and guidance.